Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
10 things tourists love and hate about visiting London.
Like to talk about five things that
I know
tourists
some.
love
I
and
have an idea.
Like,
It's full.
full?
Yeah.
might not love so much about coming to
The
London. And I'm
weather,
going to talk about the
Oh,
big
the weather definitely the
maybe the
hate.
food, I don't know.
Love, I would say what I loved. I really enjoyed the underground. Something about it. I just felt it was cool. The parks, Hyde Park was nice. Overall, like city vibes. London was very cool to me. I don't know. I really enjoyed
Mm-hmm.
London. Definitely in Europe, I would say my favorite city.
biggest
Mm-hmm.
issue that tourists have when they come here, and that is the fact that London is not a cheap place to visit. Now, there are free
Oh
things you can do
yeah,
to
Oh.
take down the
yeah.
cost, but I can't lie to you. The worst part about coming to London is just how expensive it is, whether it's accommodation, transportation, the
But it's
museums you actually have to pay
expensive.
for.
Hmm?
I wonder what's the cost.
It's pretty expensive, yeah. I mean, for us, it would be similarly priced to what we're paying here, but coming from
Mm.
everywhere else, it's expensive.
Things just happen that your money just kind of disappears. And the thing is,
Mhm.
sometimes your money disappears when you don't even realize it. Like when you forget to tap out after you tap in, whether you take the tube. And so it's just a plain fact of life that this place is expensive. And one thing I think is important to think about when we're looking at the expensive nature of London is a lot of people will spend a lot of money to get here, thousands of dollars to get here from the US. And then they'll be like, oh, it's like 25 pounds to go into this museum. Maybe I won't go. Like, wait, you already spent 2,000 pounds to get here. Why not spend another 20 to see a site that you really want to see? So things like
Yeah.
paying to go up St. Paul's. Yes, you got to pay for it, but it's worth going up there. Going to the Tower of London and seeing the crown jewels and the beefeaters. Yes, it's worth it, but it is expensive. So I think it's really
It
important
adds up.
before
It
you come,
it
you got to
adds up.
plan out your budget for what you want to do, so you're not like
Do you
getting turned
remember
off.
at that time when you went how much you spent in total?
No, no way. It wasn't cheap though. It definitely wasn't cheap.
You have
Last
to
minute.
you have to pay like for everything.
Yeah.
It came with the package to go to these places, or you have to pay additional.
Well, so the first time I went, I was just went with my aunt, so it wasn't like with no trip. We just went.
Oh.
We stayed at my father's cousin's.
Mm.
She lived there, so yeah, no, just yeah, went to Madame Tussauds.
Oh
Yeah,
wow,
and
that's
yeah,
cool.
no, London was cool. I really enjoyed London.
Ooh.
About seeing some of the sites because of the price. Because honestly, it just feels like your money disappears like doing nothing here. Okay, now the second thing you're probably not going to like when you come here is when you're trying to find accommodation. Really, I like to call it the accommodation conundrum. Because this is something that the locals have as well. Finding a good place to stay at a reasonable price.
We
Look, you're not going to get
heard.
anything cheap, but you need to
Yeah,
really
that's
think
all over
about where
Europe
you
though.
want to be and what you want to see so you know where to
I thought
plant
because of the immigration
Yeah, it
crisis.
seems like because of the immigration crisis. Yeah.
your stuff or set up your accommodation. And the thing is, no matter where you stay, you're not going to have a ton of space. So I would really recommend packing light when you come here because whether you're at a hostel or a hotel or any other place, space is always at a premium here. Even if you're at a luxury hotel, space is at a premium and you're paying for that premium. And you're like, wait, what am I getting for it? Not a lot. And so that's something that does frustrate people. And that's why
That's
what I
an
recommend.
adjustment to make when you're going from the States to Europe.
What do you mean?
Like the spaces, like
Oh,
a small kitchen.
yeah.
Look for a place you want to stay that's where you want to be, where you're going to spend most of your time. Are you going to spend most of your time by Victoria Station and, going down to, Westminster Abbey down there? Okay, then maybe you look for something there. Maybe you want to go to Soho and you want to stay there and have some fun there. That's what you want to think about. And then realize how much time you're going to save if you're staying where you want to be versus having to take the tube and going out. That's why sometimes the trying to save money by staying farther out of the city kind of gets you in the end if you got to take, if it's too late and there's no tube available, you got to take a cab, or if you're trying to get to an airport, and you don't have a public transportation to it, that can really add up to it. So yeah, the accommodation conundrum is a real issue. But the thing is, you're coming to London. Why? Because the first thing you're gonna love the fantastic museums and sites and experiences when you
Oh, you
come to
just said you have to pay for everything that was in free museums and stuff. Definitely free. There's free sites though. I don't know about museums. I'm sure there's always free museums everywhere, but besides, there's a lot to see, like just outside in London.
Mm-hmm.
London. I mean, let's be honest. You want to go see
The
the Tate
London
Modern. You want to go
Bridge,
see the British
Big Ben,
Museum and the
Hyde
Rosetta
Park,
Stone. You want to go to the Tower of London. And yes, it pays a lot, but you know what? It's worth it. You want to see these sites that you wanted to see
Greenwich.
since you were a kid, and they really come alive when you're
Although Greenwich you might have to pay. I don't remember now.
Hmm.
I think in Greenwich, and to get there, you have to pay. But
here because there's really so much to do for everyone. That's why if you're a kid, you can enjoy London. If you're an
You can
adult, you
walk to
enjoy
those
London. If
places.
from Big Ben to London Bridge is walkable. London Eye is right next to Big Ben's, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So yes, right there.
If
Uh,
you go there today, will you remember?
Yeah,
Like, oh, let's go.
that area I will remember. Yeah. Overall, I just felt like London was so navigatable. Like I stayed there for like I think 2 weeks the first time, and the second time I came back 2 3 years later, I knew where everything was. Like
Mm,
just the layout of the city to me felt like so easy.
mm,
Yeah,
mm,
If you're a grandparent, you can enjoy a lot. It doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your gender, it doesn't matter anything. There's going to be something for you when you're here. And what's great is a lot of the best sites are actually free. Change of the Guard, that's free. British Museum, that's free. Tate Modern, that's free. Walking along the Thames and taking that in, yep, that's free too. Because honestly, you just love all the stuff you can do in this city. That's why people come back again and again and again, like myself, because there's always something new to check out and new to explore when you're here. So with all the tourists that are here and all the fantastic museums and sites that you can see,
this is
there
a
are
recent
also
video.
yeah, 3 weeks ago.
Oh.
Yeah, this is London Bridge.
some tourist traps that go in there because when there's lots of tourists, there's lots of reasons why you might want to separate them from their
London Eye.
pounds, right? And I will say this, realize there are some tourist traps here in London. I actually have a video on the tourist traps and the scams of London. But I will say this, most of the tourist traps actually here in London are worth it for a lot of people. Like, some people say, like myself, hey, Madame Tussauds, is it worth it? Well, for me personally, no. But when I take my kids there, they love it. So it's
Who said Madame Tussauds, right?
Mm.
Yeah, I
Was it
enjoyed it.
worth it?
Yes, it was
It
definitely
looks
worth
cool.
it.
I've seen
It
online.
was. I took a lot of pictures. It was worth it. Yeah,
Yeah. Who you
and
took a picture with?
a lot of people. Yeah. I
Like,
don't.
who's iconic?
Oh my gosh, it's been 15 years. I
Yeah,
don't
but your
remember.
favorite person.
I don't remember. But Madame Tussauds is not like a London thing though. They do have one in London, but they have it all over the place. So it's not like you can't say, oh, it's a London tourist scam. It's not. It's if you want to call it a tourist scam, period, fine. But it's not exclusive to London. It's just museum. It's cool.
one of those things you got to think about is when I'm planning out my budget because of the price for things here and those tourist traps, some of them are tourist traps just because of the price of them. You might want to kind of debate, hey, can I offset paying for that expensive touristy trappy kind of thing with seeing more free museums or doing things that might mitigate some of the prices, so or some of the costs. I just want to kind of put that out there with all those fantastic sites. There are some that might be a little more than they need to be. Though I love the sites here,
London
I
Eye.
will say this isn't really a hate, it's just a heads up kind of thing.
Now London Eye, cool, but I don't
It's
think
just
it's a
to
must.
see it.
Yeah, I don't think it's a
But you can
must.
see it anywhere, like from afar. No?
Well, but the whole idea is, if you get high, you can see it like a bird eye view, kind of. It's like
Oh.
basically as if you were staying at like a super nice, well, not super nice hotel. The niceness doesn't matter. It's just a tall hotel, and you see through the window. So that's the similar idea. It was cool, the London Eye, but
They let you go how many times around? Only one?
one time,
One time
yeah, it
around.
goes fairly slow. So, but yeah,
Oh.
London Eye, I would say maybe not necessarily worth it, but Madame Tussauds
Mm.
definitely worth it.
When you do get your picture inside the telephone box,
Do
make
they
sure
have a
you
lot of
wash your
these?
hands afterwards. You'll understand. Now, the second thing
Do
you're
they
gonna
have a
love
lot of these?
I think so.
No, I feel like that's like a picture to show I'm in London
I
and you're
think they
not.
had them. I don't remember now.
when you come here to London is actually the pub life. I mean, pub is life when you are here. And it's not just laughing at the names of some of the places or just enjoying the atmosphere and having a few drinks or maybe a bite to eat or meeting the locals. It's all of it together because the pub is the life when you are here. And when the city gets out of work, about 5 o'clock, all of a sudden the pubs fill up and you have people just knocking down pints with their friends or coworkers. They're just out having a drink. And that's one of those things. When you come here, this is your opportunity to talk to the locals. And it could be a local that was born and bred here in London or somebody that moved here 5 years ago from Spain because they're all Londoners. And the pub is where they all come together. So that experience of going there, ordering at the bar, having a bite to eat when you're there, it's just such a fantastic experience. And I do have to give you a hint if you are getting food at the pub, make sure you look at your table number because you got to order at the bar, okay? They're not going to come and give you table service, right? They're going to order there and then they'll bring it to you, right? It's just be aware of that. But honestly, the whole pub life experience, and there's some great pubs, like from historical
These
pubs
little
to
rules, it's like, oh,
It's a tidbit to know, yeah.
yeah.
It's not something you wouldn't know by yourself. You go sit at a bar,
Mhm.
nobody comes. You're like, where's the waitress or a waiter?
new pubs, any kind of thing you want to do or drink or whatever, they have it here because the pub life is fantastic and you're going to love it. And also, I could put the nightlife along with that. So, yeah, you're going to have a good time in the evening when you are here. If it's going to a West End show or going to the movies or going to a concert or
Yeah, you've
just
seen
go
that frame right here.
the evening when you are here.
Yeah, you see the Big Ben on the right and London
Mhm.
Eye on the left. Yeah, they're like very
This
close.
this line is Ben.
The bridge, I think.
Oh.
Oh, the Big Ben, I think, is here. If I'm not mistaken, right here.
Oh.
If it's going to a West End show or going to the movies or going to a concert or just going out,
I
clubbing
think.
and having fun.
I
Or,
hope I'm right.
going to the pub.
Otherwise,
You
I'm
said
gonna look
you
real
Especially
stupid.
when you're here. Now,
remember.
It's been a
I
long
got to
time, but
talk
that's how
about
I remember
something
it. Yeah,
that's not so great when you come here, and you knew it was going to come, and you know I was going to talk about the weather.
the
But I'm going
weather.
to say this: you're going to hate the fact that the weather's unpredictable, because sometimes you can come here for 2 weeks at a time, and it's sunny every day. That actually happened to me before, and I actually got sunburned when I was here in the summer because, well, the sun does come out. But I will tell you, if you're going to come here in the fall, the winter time, the weather isn't something you're really going to enjoy. So you've got to make sure you're bringing not just a jacket, but make sure it's a rain-proof jacket. And if you need to get an umbrella, believe me, when it rains, there'll be umbrellas out at all the shops. Pick one up. But that unpredictable nature of the weather here in London, you got to make sure you check that 10-day forecast. And every day before you go out, look at the hourly forecast. When is it really going to pick up? Because, for example, today I've been walking around and it's fantastic. But I saw about 3 o'clock, it's going to start getting stormy and start to have a little rain, or at least a 57% chance of rain.
It
So
looks
in my
like it.
bag, I have my umbrella and I have my jacket to keep me out of the rain. But if you've ever been here when it's raining
This is
like
not
sideways, or
sunny
it seems like it's
outside.
raining upward sometimes with the wind,
Yep, that's
you'll
London.
understand why the weather might not be something you like when you're here. But hey, in the summertime, usually you're actually pretty okay. See, sunburn. It happens here, the weather. What are you going to do about it here in London? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Another thing I love about coming to London is just the fact that you can have legitimate food from around the world that really tastes like it's from where it is. And that's one thing I love about here. With all the immigration that's come through here,
Oh,
all
that's
the tourism
cool.
that's come through here, how the Brits were all over the world, all that food is here.
It
And you
does
get
look cool. Yeah, I haven't been to these areas. I'm
Mhm.
not Chinese, at least. I think where I was a lot of like the Indian type of stuff.
Mm.
legit stuff. You want great dim sum? You can have great dim sum. You're missing Mexican food from home? You can get it here as well. Maybe you're
Really?
begging for some Brazilian meat. You
Mexican.
can get that here too. I mean, Portuguese
They don't
food,
have
anything with Afghani
plantains.
food. You have such fantastic food here in London. But what I love about it is that it's legit. It's legitimately legit. So like we lived in Portugal, we miss American food or we miss Mexican food.
I would definitely think, yeah, compared to Portugal, London is way more of a melting pot where you can get all
We
types of
come here to
foods.
have legitimate American food, legitimate, Mexican food, and it's just so awesome. It's so crazy how much great food there's from all over the world that there's actually good British food here as well. Who knew? And no, I'm not talking about Pizza Express and Spaghetti House for great Italian food. Hey, they've got these places got their places, but I mean like legit Italian food, legit Indian food. Oh my God, it's so good here. You will have the opportunity to have real food from where it's at from people that know what they're doing, which is going to make it even more fantastic. So that's why when you come here and eat here, you get to find cuisines you've never had before, and then it inspires you to want to eat them more and more and more. Because the stuff I had here, and once I had it, I had to have it again and again and again. Lebanese food, fantastic. Honestly, just today I had incredible dim sum, which I just
The dim
love,
sum
love, love,
looks
love, love.
good.
Just had
Mhm.
some incredible Lebanese food, and I even had some good British fare earlier in the day. I mean, you can't go wrong with the food in this city. Now, the fourth thing you're not going to like about when you come to London is the fact that the city is just so big and just unwieldy. Like, look, you're going to have to use the tube. It doesn't matter what the price is, just tap in, tap out, and go. Because you need that. Because even though there's all these sites, you want to go site to site to site,
You
by
tap
the end of
in,
the
tap
day,
out.
your feet are going.
I don't remember. I guess if that's how
Mm.
it is. Was it like that
So you
when
have
I
to get a
was there?
card.
I don't remember. Yeah, I had the card. Yeah, but just
Mm.
overall, using the tube, the whole underground system was super easy.
Going to kill, so you need to use the public transportation. And for some people, that's a little bit daunting. Here, you shouldn't have to worry about it because literally, if you have a Google Pay or a tap and go card, you can just tap and go when you come in, tap and go when you go out. Now, you're probably not going to like if you forget to do the tap out part because, oops, you're going to get another little thing to make it even more expensive staying here. But I think what the key thing is with that unwielding size
They
of the
charge
city, it
you
becomes
for
very
coffee?
important that
I
you
don't know.
plan your vacation. You plan where you're going to stay. You're going to plan what sites you're going to see and when you're going to see them. Because if you're trying to go from the Tower and then Buckingham Palace and out to Wimbledon or something like that, that's not really your best bet to do it. You want to kind of tie things together so it's a little bit easier. So see Big Ben, Parliament, do the London Eye if you want. Go see, Poets Corner and Westminster Abbey. Kind of put those things together. And then another
The
time you kind of put things
Abbey.
together in a different route because that'll make life a little bit easier. Because honestly, you'll just walk, 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 and yeah, I mean, it just gets a bit much
Wow.
sometimes. Believe me, you won't even realize how much you're walking. I've
Everybody's
been
walking.
using the tube today. It's 5:30 in the afternoon, and I've already gone 11 miles of walking. Yeah, and it's like 5:30. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like, you don't understand how big the city is, how many things you're going to be seeing and doing and keep going and going and going. So
That's
make
pretty
sure you
cool.
take
I
a
like
break
that.
occasionally. Sit down, have afternoon tea, go
I
hit up
wonder
the
if I will
pub.
feel tired from walking. Oof, what a day.
Yeah, you start getting tired. Just overall, yeah,
Mm.
from walking. to walk. But that's like
Mm,
touristy things though, because as a
yeah.
tourist you walk. If you live there, you don't like walk like this. You have a job, so
Mm.
it's just for tourists more so.
Because when we went to the carnival, I didn't realize how much we walked until we finished walking.
Yeah, once you finish, then your feet is like, oh god
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
Because honestly, you're going to need that because the size of this city is so much that it might be too much for your footsies. You don't want to have foot problems when you're walking around. Ugh. So another thing you're going to love about coming to London is actually the fact that you can leave London so easily because the day trips are amazing. And the day trips can be really anything you want. You want castles
That's
and
really
palaces?
cool.
Oh, head out to Windsor or go to Hampton Court and see where Henry VIII hung out. I mean, that's one of the best ones you can do. Or maybe you want to give the old
That's a big
college
ass
try.
castle.
Yeah, you can go visit Oxford or Cambridge. Or maybe you want to see Old World England. Yes, well, you can go to Canterbury when you're here. Or what you could do, if you don't want to do it on your own, you can actually do tours from here, which
Yeah, it's not a big country like size wise, so it's kind of
Yeah.
compact. So within a day, you can see a lot actually from just
Mm.
from London too.
actually make it a lot easier to visit
Although
certain
I'd probably prefer to do like a road trip, kind of just like drive around the towns,
Mm.
then one day on a schedule, go 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 go.
places around here. For example, you could do a day trip to go to Stratford to learn about Shakespeare and his history. And believe me, taking the tour from here is a lot easier than getting there yourself, okay? Another great tour you could do from here is you get a tour of the Cotswolds, and that is I went back to the Hobbit times and stuff. I mean, just so beautiful when you're there. And you go to multiple places when you're there. Another great day trip you can do, or one you can do on your own, or you can do a tour. You can head out to Stonehenge. You want to see the big rock standing there, or you can get the bath, or you can actually do both. But if you're going to do that one, I think you need more time between those two. But honestly, it can be a day trip. But honestly, you can have so many things to do here. If you get tired of the hustle bustle of the city, you can go to the Cotswolds where it's more chilled out, or you can go to, heck, with the trains here, you can get up to York in like an hour and a half, 2 hours to see that. I mean, you have so many options when you're here. I wouldn't really consider York a day trip from here, but you do have a lot of options, whether it's Brighton, Canterbury, the Cotswolds, wherever. But I think my favorite one
Everyone's
for nearby is
walking. Whoa.
probably going to Hampton Court. Like, that's a really fun one. And then if you want a city, I'd probably do Bath. Oh, and if you want to be really crazy with your day trips from London, do you realize it's only a little over 2 hours to take the train from London to Paris? Yeah.
I thought he was gonna say that. Yeah, I don't know about that. That's not a no day trip, especially as a tourist. No, that's no. Like if you live there and traveling for work and coming, that's a
Yeah.
different story. Like you're familiar with the areas.
Mm.
No, not as a tourist. Nah.
Go in the morning, have your croissants for breakfast, eat a
When
great
you
lunch,
guys
go
left
see the Eiffel
London, how did you guys get to Paris?
No, we came to Paris first, then London.
So how did you get to Paris to
The
London?
train, the train, yeah.
Oh,
Tower,
that's
then come
cool.
back in the afternoon or
Out of London, we flew out. Yeah.
evening.
Oh.
It's
Out of
doable even on that
Heathrow.
train.
Oh,
I think there's
to
a fifth
Spain?
thing you're not going to like
No,
about
in
coming
the
to
States.
London. Really,
Oh.
I'm not going to say it's over tourism because, yes, there are tons and tons of tourists that come here. I mean, millions of tourists come to London. But millions of tourists have been coming to London for years. And I'll talk about how good they are at managing that on Love Number 5. But for me, the hate about the tourism kind of stuff here is the inconsiderate tourists. Like, London is probably the city that I see the most inconsiderate tourists in total. You know, the ones that are blocking the entrance or the exit to the tube, or maybe they're holding up the line, or maybe they're blocking the street to try to get a
They may be
picture, But I think
lost.
my
Oh,
personal
I
favorite
understand.
inconsiderate tourist is probably the tourists that are dragging their big luggages behind them, the wheeling luggage, and they're just running over people's
Do
feet
the
and
people
whacking
walk
into them,
fast
whether
or
you're,
slow?
at Paddington, or you're
Fast.
coming in
Oh.
on the train, or you're on the tube, or
You
you're
got
just walking
shit to
around,
do.
or
You
you're
gotta
walking
go,
by
go, go,
Buckingham
go, go.
Palace, so you see these things. That's the thing you're really not going to like. It's not the over tourism, because they do a great job with that, but it's just the inconsiderate tourists, just how many more inconsiderate tourists you have here in London than pretty much any other city you ever go to, okay? And since there are so many tourists
That's
here, whether they're
interesting.
inconsiderate or considerate, another thing you might not like are the number of pickpockets you might have to deal with when you're here. Even when you're walking
That's everywhere in Europe in the touristy areas, though. I don't think that's exclusive to London. We see that Italy,
Mm.
France, Barcelona. Yeah,
in front of Buckingham Palace with the change of the
it's
guard,
just
you
basically
got to keep
anywhere
your
where
eyes open.
it's
I
packed.
alluded to the thing that was good about the way they handle the over tourism. I think that's the fifth thing you're going to love. It's just the tourism infrastructure and how well it is run here in London. Look, I know I talked about
He
expensive
gives
accommodation. I
positive
talked about
reviews
fantastic museums.
because I would think they have immigration crisis, and they say that how they manage the tourism is quite difficult. But he said he loves it from his
No,
experience.
what he's saying is there isn't like it's not overcrowded. Because like if you go to like some other like Paris, for example, it's overcrowded. It feels overcrowded.
Oh.
London doesn't feel overcrowded. Potentially, maybe because there's actually quite a lot to see in the city. Whereas like in
Mm.
Paris, there's stuff to see in Paris, but like the most
Mm.
iconic is like the Eiffel Tower. Like that's
Oh.
the most iconic. Everybody want to see. In London, I feel like there's
A lot more sites
a
to
lot
see.
of equal. equally iconic places where you can kind of split the time.
I
Because
see, I
there's
see.
Buckingham Palace iconic, Big Ben iconic, London
Mm.
Bridge iconic. I don't know what else that's as iconic. Maybe those are like the three as iconic, but there's other less iconic places to see. In Paris, I feel like Eiffel Tower, and for people that are into arts, maybe the Louvre. That's it.
Mm.
So it's a little different.
I talk about all kinds of stuff. But what's amazing about London, even with all these millions of tourists that come here, it runs well. Yes, you do get to go to Westminster Abbey and see it when you're here. Yes, you can do the tourist traps and it's okay and it'll function. Yes, you can see the change in the guard and they'll let you know what days they're on and they're not. And that's just it. It's
The
put
horse
together so
bites.
well that no matter what budget you have, what you're looking to do, there's something that you can do here and it's set up for you to enjoy it. Whether it's coming in from the airports, if you want to do the budget traveler tube version of it, or if you want to do the Heathrow Express version of it, you can do that. They have it all here for a whole gambit of tourists. That's why you'll see young people coming here on their very first vacation abroad, or families coming here for their first family trip abroad. Things are set up for
Aw.
you to enjoy here. From the tours to the people, heck, the policemen, how they'll help you if you ask questions, the locals if you ask questions. They're awesome here. And that's one of the things I really think is really important for people to
Matilda.
understand is the infrastructure they have in place here makes this a doable destination for travelers of all
You know what they
backgrounds,
say?
all desires,
Only tourist people ride the top of the double decker.
all levels
I
of
don't know.
travel
You
experience.
know where I'm
Because
gonna
even my
be
mother
riding?
can figure out the
Top.
tube
At the
all by
top. At
herself.
the
I mean, the tourism infrastructure is so good, they actually help you not get hit by cars when you cross the street. And with that infrastructure, you also have
Yes, they do have that on the road. It's which way to look. Because usually you look here, you look that way, right? You look left. When you first cross there, you had to go right. So they do have those signs. Yeah, I do remember that.
the black cabs here. And I got to say, the black cabs, they're entertaining to take and they know everything about the city. So if you do take one, they'll take you around and be almost like a tour
Ooh.
guide. But also, if you're not sure where something is, they will know. However,
They look
as
like
I want to be helpful also on
James
the budget
Bond.
side of it, do know that the black cabs do cost more than the Ubers. So if you're looking to save money and you don't want to have an educational tour of the city while you go or have your questions asked, go for the Uber.
What
But
do you
that's
call
just
this
it.
car?
The infrastructure's here for
Cab.
whatever budget, whatever you're trying to do,
No,
you can do it.
it's
So,
a
what are the
UK car.
What, Mini Cooper?
I guess
Oh,
no. Mm.
I don't know.
Okay, guys. Of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord, and as always, 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 share as much kindness as possible.